Guys, here is something highly relevant. Corruption. When corruption reaches a fever pitch, the temperature rises and may even explode. This is what happened in Indonesia when the government approved to give 50 million rupiah a month to each of the 580 members of the People's Representative Council, 10 times over the minimum wage. The people exploded. The perk was so outrageous that it provoked outrage. People ransacked, looted, and burned their leaders' residences and business establishments in several places. A little more than a week later, an almost identical event in Nepal, where the angry Nepalese who had long harbored grievances against corruption, inequality, and poor governance not only set fire to the parliament building and homes of their leaders, but also chased them down the river, on the street, and right in their residences. When people see their leaders flaunting their mansions, luxury cars, and branded bags and clothing, while they wallow in poverty and despair, their deep-seated senses of unfairness and frustrations escalate into violent and destructive actions, as we just saw a few days ago in a South Asian nation that is nestled in the Himalayan mountain range. It is not surprising that similar events of people's call to action also hit the streets of Metro Manila and elsewhere in the Philippines due to the constant flooding that they have been grappling with, which has only worsened because of the government's haphazard and substandard flood control projects that instead of genuinely addressing the people's miseries, they pocketed the money. And with the media's inadvertent glorification of the wealthy contractors with their huge mansions, decadent lifestyles, and fleet of super luxury cars, as well as the young Marcos exposition of corruption in the flood control projects,
mahiya naman kayo sa inyong kapwa Pilipino.
Help fuel public outrage that saw rallies and demonstrations in various parts of the country, including at the EDSA Shrine, Luneta Park, and in Mindiola on September 21, which ironically was the very day that the elder Marcos placed the entire country under martial law. Rallies all over the country went on peacefully, except the one in Mindiola, believed to have been instigated and financed by those who wanted the current president to step down. There was even a wild rumor that the crowd would be used for military intervention. While the military denied this rumor as baseless and malicious, they should do more, as social media is abuzz with dangerous news and blogs. No wonder the protesters, some were even minors, were so viciously barbaric, taunting the policemen to fight, which could go out of hand if it did. Demonstrations that turned violent could at times be the consequences of the public displays of wealth by corrupt government officials, oblivious of the sufferings that can push the marginalized people to act violently in retaliation for the unfairness and inequality they feel from their corrupt government. Or sometimes there were forces behind the violent demonstrations that has another agenda than what the legitimate protesters were fighting for. Will the government wait until the people have taken the law into their hands? While the president appears determined to address these floods of corruption, he must do more to assure the people that the axe will fall where it must. How far this would go could be a ticking time bomb. Good day and good night.